G'day and welcome to Redriven. Now look, there are some lemons of cars out there, but there are 5 that are they're truly horrible. You need to keep away from these cars. And we're really sorry, but if you own one of these, just sell it, get rid of it. It's an utter piece of crap. Here are our top 5 worst cars that you can buy right now. Now look, no one likes dishonesty, and our 5th place getter is a great example of a car company doing their best to fool people into thinking that their product is something that it just isn't. It's the Jaguar X-Type. Jaguar needed a competitor to the BMW 3 Series, but rather than engineer a car from the ground up, the luxury manufacturer took the underpinnings of a Ford Mondeo, wrapped it in an ill-fitting Jaguar body, and then screwed a dodgy all-wheel drive system underneath it. The result being seized engines, exploding transmissions and drive shafts, wheel hub failures, and interior and exterior trim just falling apart. Did I mention that the parts and labour costs a fortune? The safety and infotainment tech are a joke, and they're pretty rubbish to drive. The X-Type is a great example of luxury brands not necessarily equating to quality products. In 4th, this was Chrysler's attempt at wrapping retro styling around a practical and economical vehicle, and they failed miserably. It is the bloody horrible PT Cruiser, and especially the convertible. Look, credit to Chrysler for releasing a car with such immensely polarizing style, and you know what? It may have worked if the actual mechanicals and driving experience were any good, but being a Chrysler, they weren't. Part retro wagon, part soft-roader with terrible driving dynamics, and an utter disdain for any level of build quality, the PT Cruiser should be as embarrassing to Chrysler as it is for anyone seen inside one. When researching this car for this list, I stumbled on a fabulous quote from a mechanic regarding the PT Cruiser. He says, "I cannot put into words what a horrendous piece of shit the PT Cruiser is, and every time I have to work on one, I want to stab myself in the face and neck. Guys, do not buy a PT Cruiser." Now, in 3rd place is a car that I'm amazed A, it was even allowed to be produced, and B, that anyone actually went and bought one. It is the god-awful and potentially the ugliest car of all time. It's the SsangYong Rodius, or depending on where you're watching this from, it might be called the Stavic. It's bloody terrible. Apparently the design goal with this thing was to capture the essence of a luxury yacht, and as you can see, they failed. Instead, we ended up with an awkward-looking, badly proportioned disaster of a vehicle that somehow was even worse mechanically than it was from an aesthetic point of view. That's right, not only is the big SsangYong hideous, but even when brand new, it was heavily criticised for shockingly bad build quality, a lack of safety and tech features, poor performance handling and refinement, and an interior that was as disappointing as the exterior. Just imagine how bad these things are new. Like, honestly, I know we're a car channel, but if it's between a SsangYong and walking, pick walking. Oh, God, these things are terrible. They're utter crap. Do not buy one. In 2nd place, it's the Dodge Nitro. Okay, let's start with the positives, or in the Nitro's case, just the one positive. It's not a bad looking thing. And now the negatives. Do a quick Google search of Dodge Nitro problems and you'll be presented with a Wikipedia amount of issues, dramas, and in many cases, catastrophic failures. Worse still is that as the Nitro no longer exists and Dodge no longer exists here in Australia, the Nitro is basically unrepairable. That's right, if you buy one and it has a problem, which it will due to the horrifically shoddy build quality, there's a very high chance that you won't be able to actually get it repaired. The only valid reason to buy a Dodge Nitro would be to melt it down and just sell the metals. Now, before we get to 1st place, can you please do us a favour and hit those like, subscribe, and bell icons for us? That'd be awesome. And also, go and follow us on all the socials after you finish watching this video. Now look, this thing isn't just a truly horrifically bad car. Buying one or even being seen in one is going to be really bad for your reputation and image. If ever a car purchase was a cry for help, it's our 1st place getter. It's the Hummer H2. When we were putting this list together, we trawled through countless consumer reports and articles. We asked mechanics, engineers, automotive journalists, and the H2 was by far the most complained about and ridiculed vehicle that we came across. So what's actually wrong with the H2? Everything. Not only is it drenched in fake off-roading equipment like the attachment hoops on the bonnet that will just quickly rip the bonnet off if you attach anything to them, and the false central tyre inflating system on the wheels, but the H2's build quality is appalling. The driving experience is both underwhelming and terrifying. It's average at off-roading at best, and it's proving to be unreliable, inefficient, and basically just a disaster of a car. The H2 is focused on style and projecting an image far more than providing any kind of quality vehicular experience. It's a genuinely embarrassing thing, and look, I honestly feel sorry for anyone that owns one. I'd highly recommend seeking some professional help, both mentally and mechanically. The list of issues with these things are so extensive, we just couldn't go into it in this video, but if you see one, just walk away in the opposite direction, and God, don't buy one. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, what did you think of the list? Let us know in the comments section below. And remember, can you please hit those like, subscribe, and bell icon buttons, and go and follow us on all the socials. See you next time. I shouldn't swear. I'll try not to swear. Best at... exterior trim fit...